So besides all the practice scribbling I've been doing recently, I haven't actually been doing a lot of finished work. So I thought I better do something that's actually representative of my current skill level and actually put some effort into something. So I came up with a great idea for a comic. Well, I think it's a good idea anyway. Only time will tell. And I thought to myself, I think the best way to do something that has a bit of polish to it is to do it digitally. Yes, digital art is definitely faster. You can spend as much time as you like on it, endlessly redo bits, and the medium just never wears out. Unlike a piece of paper, which you can eventually just wear through. You got to buy thick paper, that's basically anyway. And another thing that makes digital art really appealing is that it's cheap, really affordable. After you buy your graphics tablet, you don't have to spend any more money ever again, except for a bit of electricity into a computer that you already have. I bought a displayless graphics tablet a decade ago, and the thing still works. Compare that to when I walked into an art shop just a few days ago and I purchased a 30-sheet cartridge of watercolor paper for $25. That's just how much you have to spend if you want to squash something of quality onto the surface of the paper. My art requires a good foundation, okay? Yeah, so just do the maths and you'll find that digital art is really cheap no matter how much you spend on a graphics tablet, really. So after making the logical choice to illustrate this digitally, I sat down and I started working on it, and I did the initial sketch, and then I did the inking, and then I erased the initial sketch, and then I redid it, then I re-inked it, and a week passed, and the thing still wasn't finished. I was going, what's going on? Is it just because I'm redoing the whole thing over and over again because I'm not happy, or is there something else happening here? Why is it taking so long? So I sat myself down on the couch and I asked myself, how does digital art make you feel? Why is your progress on this so slow? And I realized that for some reason, when I'm drawing traditionally, I'm always excited for the next 5 minutes of drawing that I'm going to do. But when I'm drawing digitally, I'm just looking forward to when the whole process is finished and I can see the end result. You know that wonderful state of flow you can sometimes get into when you're working, where your enjoyment of the process actually encourages you to finish your work? I don't really feel that with digital art most of the time. And unfortunately, I really don't have much of a logical explanation why that is the case. This is some kind of psychological problem I have, because I'm vastly more physically comfortable drawing digitally than I am drawing traditionally. Believe it or not, I can sit in front of a computer and scribble away on my graphics tablet for many hours and not feel any discomfort whatsoever. It's fantastic. And I've tried my hardest to make myself as comfortable while drawing traditionally. I've got a nice drawing board set up and everything. It's pretty good actually, but it's not quite the same. It's not quite as comfortable. So that can't be the reason. Another reason that I thought of, maybe deep down, I realise that what I'm creating doesn't really exist in a traditional sense that I appreciate. It has no physical mass. It just exists as ones and zeros, and maybe I'm just waiting for a great big solar flare to come and wipe out, all of my hard work, or something like that, and the rest of civilization. Maybe there is some kind of primitive, basic part of my brain that is not satisfied by creating something non-physical. I need to hold something in my hands and say, "Oh, I made this. Me. I created this. Look at it." So with all of those factors combined, it ends up just feeling to me like this soulless, tactileless experience where the end result only ever exists if I have electricity to turn my computer on. Maybe I should invest in a printer or something. Maybe that would motivate me, I don't know. So after procrastinating on my digital art piece for like over a week, I stuck an A3 sheet of paper to my drawing board, and then 2 days later, all of the inking was finished. I think it came to a total of about 4.5 hours of drawing and inking. Maybe I should have taken a bit longer. I rushed my pencil work again, and then I tried to fix it in the inking process, which is my usual terrible trick. But even if I really took my time traditionally, I will still finish a lot faster than drawing digitally because I actually feel motivated the whole time. You know that fable of the tortoise and the hare? I've come to realise that I probably completely misunderstood that one. I keep on hearing slow and steady wins the race. But then you think about it for 5 seconds and you go, well, that's actually a load of nonsense, isn't it? Are you telling me that the only two options in life are to be a dim-witted, lazy athlete or a long-term thinking slowpoke? But now I know the underlying truth as to why the rabbit didn't win. The rabbit just didn't enjoy running. That's why. He didn't like it, and then he did the maths and he realised he had an unfair advantage, and then he said to himself, well, I'll just take a bit of a kip under this tree, and then I'll just wake up and I'll finish the race, I guess. And then he didn't set his alarm clock. So I think the true moral of that story is to always wear a wristwatch, which I have recently started doing to enhance my perception of time. And it has worked, because I suddenly realised that I have been rambling for the past 2 minutes or more. Anyway. So after finishing the inking on this comic, first page of a comic, I decided, am I going to use the industry standard for colouring in a comic? Doing it digitally. And I thought, that still doesn't interest me. So I took out some high-quality coloured pencils. Polychromos by Faber-Castell. Very nice. Probably only twice as good as the cheap classic ones, even though they're 5 times the price. But they are pretty good. Unfortunately, I came to the conclusion with coloured pencils is not the ideal thing to colour in a comic because it just takes too long. Man, so many fine little delicate layers to make a single solid piece of colour. The end result doesn't look bad though, but I just wish I was doing it in watercolour, because it's faster. And I am rather impatient. I think that's probably the real problem. I'm impatient and slow. I'm an impatient tortoise, that's my problem. So what about you? Do you also find digital art to be a soul-draining experience? Or have you actually managed to transcend above this material realm? Sounds pretty good. I might join you one day, but as for now I'm going to continue scribbling on my bits of paper and papyrus and stone tablets and whatever kind of physical... Bye-bye.